But speaking of football, let's talk about VAR. Let's remind you of what that is, first of all, in case you don't know, and put this all into context. VAR is the video assistant referee technology that was introduced into football back in 2018, I think. And it was introduced to help referees review decisions for things like goals, red cards, penalties and offsides. If you're not quite sure, the technology uses film footage from pitchside cameras, so loads of pitchside cameras, meaning that the VAR operators can view the action from different angles and then offer their judgments on incidents as well. I'm sure you've seen it being used for offsides, red cards. The accuracy in application has been questioned by some. High-profile pundits like Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer have said that it ruins the game and often gets it wrong. Well, new research by the University of Bath has used their own technology to work out just how accurate VAR is, and the study suggests that it actually isn't precise enough to give accurate judgments every time. It's going to be pretty controversial, so let's speak to the man behind the research, Dr. Pooya Soltani. Dr. Soltani, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
No, Dr. Soltani, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for your time. So I just described a little bit about how VAR works. In a nutshell, are you saying that your research has found that it isn't 100% accurate?
That's right, but I have to mention that VAR in general, it's working. Since the introduction, the number of fouls, offside, yellow card, and mistaken identities are decreasing. But on the other hand, because eventually people have to review these footages, it takes a little bit of time of the game, and effective playing time can also decrease. Most of the time, the line of vision can still be obscured by players, and due to rapid nature of the game, some critical moments could still appear blurry. That's because the cameras that are using, they operate at lower frame rates, and when they pause the game, some pictures can appear blurry, making it difficult for the assistant referee to judge those critical moments.
Okay, so Dr. Soltani, you're saying that despite all the proper high-grade, high-level premium technology that they've got, in some instances, it's still not working because it's not catching the image quick enough on the pitch. Is that kind of in a nutshell what you're saying?
That's right. The referee has to identify two critical moments. One of them would be the moment that one of the players kicks the ball. And then the other one would be to identify and judge whether in that moment one of the players would be in offside. And if the picture appears to be blurry, it would the judge or the referee has to make a guess. And that's why, because of this human element, the technology itself is prone to errors.
So that's interesting. So what we're talking about here, Doctor, is we're talking specifically about offside decisions rather than red cards or goals. Is that correct? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is quite controversial and quite emotive, and it could cause all sorts of problems because it could mean that historical decisions have been wrong. And I'm sure you know, Doctor, I mean, football fans and pundits have been up in arms and get very passionate about this. And it could mean the difference between a team maybe being promoted or being relegated because of a point here or 3 points there. So it could mean that certain historical decisions have been wrong then.
That's right. Most of the time, whenever you are viewing the event, you have to zoom in the picture, and the image either appears pixelated or maybe blurry. And then, as you may have seen, it has caused a lot of controversies. But I think it's also part of the game, and as anything within the game, it kind of like adds flavor to the game. So yeah, these kind of mistakes can also happen.
Yeah. Have you put your findings are really interesting. Have you put them out to the sporting and footballing world yet?
Yes, I presented some of the results last week in Liverpool in International Society of Biomechanics conference, which was well received. There were different groups from Australia and America that were also collaborating with FIFA to kind of like improve this technology further. So we had like a very fruitful chat with them as well.
That's great. So this could this could be interpreted in one of two ways, I guess. We could say that it's not really worth having at all, seeing as it's not 100% accurate, and let's keep technology out of sport and keep the human element in there. Or we could be saying that it can be improved in the future and it can become 100% accurate. Which way do you think we're going with the future of VAR?
That's right. I don't think we have to go back, because obviously the technology is helping to identify very obvious mistakes. We just have to be mindful of this human element that is incorporated in the technology, and trying to improve it in a way that would be less reliant on the human part. As you can imagine, FIFA has also recently introduced a new technology, which is based on artificial intelligence that drive some sort of computer avatars based on 29 data points on each player live within the court. And then we just have to see how this new technology will perform. They don't even still call it fully automated, because some of the decisions still have to be reviewed by a human referee. We just have to see what how this new technology will perform, and what sort of issues can arise in terms of communicating the data, synchronization of the ball with video and the player, calibration, and other sorts of controversies.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, Dr. Pooya Soltani there from the University of Bath, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you very much for having me.
Cheers, Doctor. It's been an absolute pleasure. Fascinating stuff then. The controversy will continue, and they're still trying to get it right. Still trying to get it 100% right as well.